Okay, there is an old method for finding chords up and down the neck you may have heard of called the caged method. And that is named after the shapes of the chords, the open chords, C-A-G-E-D. My favorite teacher growing up didn't do that method. He wouldn't allow me to call this an A shape because it's not an A chord, it's a C chord. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to show you this caged method. So you start with a C chord. God, that's really bright. Hopefully this is usable. C. Okay, your next root is going to be right where your third finger is. That's where you put your bar, what I call a human capo, and form what looks like an open A chord. Okay, now notice I say what looks like an open A chord. I'm very, very, very particular about that because of my previous training that I just mentioned. Okay, the next one, your first finger, your human capo, is going to move up to where your third finger is now, and you're going to form what looks like your open G chord. Okay, so we're spelling the word caged, and it is helpful, but this is not a G chord. That's what my old teacher would say. Don't call it a G chord. It's not a G chord any more than it's an F or whatever. It can be any chord, depends on where you put it. So a little more background on that, probably more than you wanted to hear. Okay, the next human capo goes here where your third finger is, the root of the chord in this case. So that's the 8th fret. It's still a G chord. It just looks like your open E chord. Next, you move it up 2 more frets, and your human capo goes where your third and fourth finger are now. And this one looks like your open D chord. Now, even if these are difficult, do them anyway. You'll realize why the first two, most likely the first 2 bar chords you learned are the 2 easiest ones. Okay, everybody's different. I've found some students who do them all just like it's a breeze. It's sickening. They're so brilliant. It's a wonderful thing just to go through this stuff. No matter how hard or easy it is, know where it is, know how to build them. So we're spelling the word caged. There's a C, open C, obviously. They're all C's, by the way. They're all C major chords. I cannot overstress that. People get confused with the caged method. And that's why I'm very, very particular when I use the method to point out these are all C chords. Next one is shaped like your open A chord. It is still a C chord. Next human capo goes where your third finger is. Shaped like your open G chord, still a C chord. Next capo goes right here where your third finger is. Shaped like your open E chord, it's still a C chord. So these are all C chords. Next capo goes here where your third and fourth finger are. It's shaped like your open D chord. And if you put those together, it spells caged. It's a good method. It's reasonable, but people get very confused. It's like, oh, that's a C shape. And with my students, I'm very particular about it, as I already mentioned. I don't let you call that a D shape. D does not own that shape, right? It's a G if I put it here. It's an A if I put it here. It's a shape, okay? So that's why I am very pedantic about saying it's shaped like your open D chord. Nonetheless, this aforementioned caged method is very helpful. And you can take each of those shapes and turn them into minor chords. Some of them are very tough. Turn them into extended minor sevenths, major sevenths, dominant sevenths, and then you're really getting somewhere if you can cover all those. So it's a very, very good method, but take your time with it and make sure you understand what the actual name of the chord is, even if we're calling it a caged method. Okay? It's just a method to get you to the outcome, but make sure you understand that all of those chords are C chords as we build them up the neck.